there's something that you all said in your book, which I thought was like, wow, we definitely have to talk about this. How you both submit to each other. Talk about that.
This what got y'all in trouble now a few
Yeah.
years ago.
Well, not
That's
really.
word.
You know,
No, I'm just playing.
you know, no, but you know, with me being so transparent from the jump and speaking, you know, I don't really focus. Now, when I first started, what people would say would hurt me and bother me, but my grandmother, and may she rest in peace, she was my biggest fan. I would always call her and she would say, Tasia, what did she say? If God before you is more than the world against you, too much is given, much is required, anything worth having. Like she would always have just the right things to say to let me know that don't worry about any of that stuff. You understand? When I said that, and me and Kim were just talking about this not too long ago, a lot of women hear the word submission, and the first thing you think is a man telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Can't go nowhere. You can't do this, you can't, unless they're telling you. But it makes sense because Ken then came behind it, and I was over here like, yo, that's good stuff. When you grow up in a household where you see your mother being beaten, and the daughter says, and I speak a little bit about certain things too with me and my mother's relationship and some of the things that, you know, I've seen growing up with her and my father. You start to think that that's what submission looks like, to be beat on, to be called out of your name. When it comes to young men, what you see in the house, what they see their father do, you start to connect that word submission with all the wrong things because that's what you've seen growing up. Funny, that's what I seen growing up as well. But I also had a mother who was a God-fearing woman and who submitted to the wrong partner. And I love my father to death. But my father was just being what he seen. He didn't have the example. And when I said it, I think all women thought, oh, she's being controlled. And I'm like, well, shouldn't y'all know me by now? Can't nobody control me. But if the father tells me to do it, okay, I'm going to do it. But nobody can control me. And that's not where I was coming from. When DJ Envy and I started having that conversation, he was just kind of spilling some things. We just jumped on relationship. Because we all know sometimes Breakfast Club can either go good or it can either go bad. And so he and I connected spiritually on what he's doing now in his marriage. We didn't get to go deep into certain things, but we just started talking. And I was like, you know what? When I found the right one, I was able to truly submit. And so when I left from the club, everybody started calling Ken's phone and Darika's phone, and they were telling me things that were being said, and it didn't scare me or make me feel bad. I just realized those are probably some of the same women who went through some of the same things that I went through, and they're not in the place that I am right now, but I'm going to pray that they get to that place. So I was going to leave it alone, but King said, nah, let's me and you, let me help women and also help the men. And so then he came back and we sat at the piano, and he was basically saying when the man submits and the woman submits, and it's not.
My issue was and still is, even on this video that we on right now, like we are all out of pocket. We are all out of pocket. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and you shall eat the fruit thereof. So therefore, I would believe that definition and context determines our reality. All right? We keep looking at women. That's the problem. That's the same thing Adam did. He looked and said, but she. You see what I'm saying? No, it begins with us. Submission is the most powerful thing that we can do when we're in the right atmosphere. It's no different than when Christ was going to the cross, man. He didn't want that smoke. He was like, man, please, man, like let me offload this, but if it's your will, I trust you, I love you, I believe in you. Your track record is so powerful that I will submit to this demonstration, even though I don't like it. So it's supposed to begin with the man. We're supposed to set the tone and tempo, but because we have perverted it, abused it, mishandled it, and destroyed it, it has lost the power of what it's supposed to represent. However, certain men who are in right relationship with the Father and do the personal development and self-work within themselves, they reach a place of being so grounded in truth in this world, not of this world, that a woman will look at him and say, yo, I want to be attached to that. That attachment is not a suppression. Submission means my wife is powerful, she is capable, she is a giant, she is a force. But she saw and sees, and I have to continue to earn that, continues to see something in me where she's willing to attach all of that power and that strength to my leadership. However, my leadership still has to incorporate her opinion, her wants, her needs, her preferences, her perspective. So the world has this connotation that it's like Barney and Fred and Bedrock, and that, you hit them over the head with a club and you drag them in there, and then once the swelling go down, cook me something to eat. That's not the demonstration. The demonstration is that I walk in humility, that I surrender, that I'm patient, that I ask for forgiveness, that I offer forgiveness, that I own my mistakes, I own my responsibility. Like, yeah, you want to be attached to that because it's something real. Yeah. And so when we got a chance to bring the whole formula together, I'm just big on that one, man, because it's getting in the way of God being able to do what he wants to do. When we brought the whole formula together, Taylor Talks just took off. We just kept riding the wave and rocking with it. We handled it with care. The book is here, and it all came from my wife trying to explain how we operate, and then I came in as a means to try to cover and shield my wife, to offer my perspective, and it was well received, and we here. But I really hope we as men, as a culture of men, get this thing under control, because we possess the ability and opportunity to bring healing to our women as it relates to that word, man.